Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It is Friday the 22nd of May and we have new mods. We have a load of new mods and we do have quite a few updates as well. I will try and be as quick as possible. A couple of the mods are packs, so on any other given day would be a mod review in their own right. So I do apologise, it's going to take a little while, but we will try and get through them all. We have updates to the No Man's Land Seasons Geo by Missy B. An update to the Service Pickup Pack by Realistic Farmers. The Wooden Building by Switch. It does say in the Modhub new, but it has had an update. There's now a brick building as well as the wood one. That's a kind of storage silo little building. It's nice. There's an update to the Small Wood Selling Station by Top Ace 888, the Man TGX Tanker Truck by Tark C007, the John Deere 6x20 or 6x20 series by Johnny 6530, the Lizard VNB 14 Bale Trailer by Blend Arts Bidmax, and it was Agro Sketch was the third person on that. The MRF Special Low Loader TL38 by Mr. Force Technic and Sir Robin has also had an update. That's got straps now on it that it does say in the update. Where are we? Vehicle holding trigger has been adjusted. Optional vehicle holding trigger or tension belt. The pictures do just show machinery or pallets, not vehicles, but yeah, not too sure on that one. There have been a couple of new maps. I'm hoping to do map reviews on both of those, but that'll be separate, obviously, because a map tour takes a bit longer. Those are all the updates. As for mods, let's get straight into it. In front of us, we've got the front sign lights. This is by 76 Max. This is a large convoy sign. This comes under weights. Weirdly or annoyingly, when you disconnect this, that happens and then you can't pick it up again. I've tried, every now and again you get lucky and you flip it and it suddenly catches, but it's a bit of a nightmare. What you can do, L1 and right stick side, no, R1 and right stick side to side, you can open it wider, so if you've got a wide load or convoy load on the back, you can extend that out so people know that you have got a wide load behind. Lights on it as well, and indicators should you want the indicators, but what I will do is lower it and then disconnect it, and it does that. The problem is, because the stands, when it's folded up, are on the top, when it then goes to put them down, it swings them round to the bottom but doesn't do it in time to put them on the floor. And when you drive forward, you can't then get it to hook back up again. It's a don't know if that's a mistake or, but it's a bit annoying, a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Farm dog is driving me mad today. That's the first of them. You'll find this under weights. There we go. The front sign lights, 2,500 to buy. This will use it's only a minimal amount of slots. I can't remember how much it was, didn't write it down, but it's not a huge amount, so don't worry about it, but that's entirely your prerogative. Next up we have got, now this is a weird one, or there are some weird ones today. In the Modhub on the website, it's showing there's a whole load of mods by FSSA modding team. 2 or 3 of them I recognise, and they do say update. This one, the MMZ 771B, I don't recognise. I especially don't recognise this. I immediately saw that and thought, oh, hang on, we recently had that baler, the small baler with the big curved bit that flings bales, the Fort Street K454 by DTP Mario. Perfect, we've got a bale trailer that will work with it. Unfortunately not. 1, the baler won't hook up to it, won't attach to it, and 2, with the baler in the correct position, the actual scoop round off the baler is on this side, not on that side. Bit of a pity, but this is a kind of a platform pack. It's the MMZ 771 platform. Like I said, I don't remember seeing it before. I do like this double section on here. You can have this one different sizes, and what's great about this as well, you can have the tip side different on each section. So you can have tip side left front, tip side left back, tip side right front, tip side right back. You can have one left, one right. You can have crops in one bit, crops in the other. I think it's a really clever design. I like that. There have been a couple of trailers like it, but like I said, I just don't recall this in particular. Nice tidy mods, like I said, by FSSA modding team. There's another mod we're going to look at in a minute that's also by them. These you'll find under trailers. So the MMZ 771B is there, 7,300. Options, we can change the main colour to a selection along there, which does that. Rim colour, again, we'll change the rims to any of the ones we've got there. Then we've got design colour, changes the chassis underneath. Then capacity, you can have 9,000 litre, 13,000 litre, or 20,000 litre. Now that I think is combined. That's not for each section, that's combined. And then we can have design standard, remove spare, which is underneath there. And then we'll set up standard or kind of large, it just charges a little bit extra for the slightly larger ones. Those are your options on that one. Then on the 771 platform, you can have it like that as a bale trailer. Again, same options for the colour, rim colour, main colour, and then design colour being the chassis again. You can have it platform or bale platform. Now I really do like the look of that. It's just a pity that it is the way it is. Although that said, if you are going to pick up those small bales by hand, it's easier to sling them in sideways into something like that, not have to worry too much about placing and that kind of thing. And then we've got remove spare again, and we'll set up small or large. So yeah, I really do like those. Just a pity about the baling thing. I was really hoping this open side would be here and you better fling them in, but like I say, it won't even attach, which is a pity. But anyway, that's the MMZ 771B by FSSA modding team. Moving swiftly on. Also by FSSA modding team, we've got the KPS4. Now I thought this had been out already. I thought we already had this. I'm sure we already had this one, and I thought we'd had these, but I could have been mistaken. But even if we did have, and this is an update and not new, which I'm not saying it is, we've also got this as part of the pack. So this comes as a frame with connectors. This one also then comes with 4 metre cultivators. So you could just buy the cultivator on its own, have a 4 metre cultivator, no problem at all. You can then buy this frame and you can hook 2 4 metre cultivators onto that and give yourself an 8 metre cultivator. The other added bonus to this is they are dirt cheap. I mean ridiculously cheap. But what then comes with this pack is this frame which potentially gives you a 16 metre cultivator. So you can put 4 of them on. Now, it's a little bit fiddly to hook up, and then obviously transportation is a little bit fiddly too, because you can't fold this up for transport with these attached. So that's the only downside. But I would say if you're doing a big farm, big open map, plenty of space, if you want a really cheap cultivator, 16 metres, that's a no-brainer. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. So we'll have a look at it in store. I'll hook a couple of bits up and show you it in operation. This you will find under cultivators. So the Lizard KPS4, the 4 metre cultivator, is 1,700 to buy. So do the maths on that. 2 of those, 3,400. 4 of those, 6,800 for the cultivators. The frame, 500 for the 8 metre one, 800 for the 16. I mean, when you think of a 16 metre cultivator, let's see what we got there. That's an 18.2 for 120 grand. 12 metre one there for 89 grand. And so on. Yes, like I say, it's a bit fiddly. It doesn't fold up particularly easily. But for price, wow. Options available. We can change the rim colour to any on that selection there. So you can see we change the rims like so. Main colour we can do like that. Change the main body, and then design colour changes the actual cultivating section itself like so. That's the same. I think the frames are just rim and main colour, yeah. So change the rims, change the main colour, and that's the same on both of the SP5 and the SP11V. So they come as kind of the pack together. So what we'll do, hook up the frame, connect one up, connect two up. Now there you go, just needed to clonk down a little bit. What we need to do is unfold like so, flip onto the other one, unfold, and then I think it was lower. I've hired a worker to do that, but anyway. So I think you have to do it on each individual. There you go. Yeah, lower it down for each individual one. So unless you're going to hire a worker, you have to do it manually for each individual unit. But I still think for the price, you can't go wrong. Bear with me a second. So, like I say, hooking these up was a little bit trickier, but it can be done. If I hire a worker now, it will unfold each unit, drops the whole lot down, and away we go. I mean, you're looking at, what did I say it was, 3,000, 6,800, 7, well, less than 8 grand. Less than 8 grand for a 16 metre cultivator. And even if you have to go to each unit, if you look at the top left, if I'm pressing triangle, I'm switching between each cultivator, lower it down, next one, lower it down, next one, lower it down, next one, lower it down, and then do it manually. So be it. It's really not a problem. Obviously you would lift them up to come off the field, but so I honestly think for the slightly finicky nature of actually hooking them all up, the price more than makes up for it. I like those a lot. So there you go. That's the KPS4 kind of pack by FSSA modding team. Moving on, we have got this. This is the Amazon ZA. Now I thought we'd already had one of these. This is by ShaRRDY. This is a small fertiliser spreader. 3-point nick mounted for small farms and, well, not necessarily small farms. I think it's got an 18 metre spread width on this one. Fertiliser technology. There we go. Yeah, 18 metres. This, what's the slot count on this? Can't find it on my list. It's too many mods today. No, it's gone. Oh, 3. There you go, 3 slots. Options available. There are none. You get what you get. Capacity is only 600 litres. And it only takes fertiliser. This is not a fertiliser and lime spreader, just one. I'm just thinking, yeah, I could have sworn we had one like this already. But anyway, regardless, that's what it does. It will spread your fertiliser out to 18 metres, but fairly small capacity, but you might expect that. Moving on. Over here, we've got these little concrete domes. Nicely detailed. But what are they? You may be wondering. Well, if I can find them. These are the Slurry Shaft Package by Razak and Project Mecklenburg 17. These are slurry and digestate storage tanks. And you might be quite surprised by this as well. I've got to find them on my list again. These are only 2 slots each, which is quite incredible. They don't take up much space above ground, as you can see. But to place these next to each other, excuse me, my voice is going. I had to give a little bit of separation, but even that isn't too much of a problem when I tell you the capacity. These will hold, if I think from what I've read, 750,000 litres each. 750,000 litre capacity. This obviously goes right down underground, massive tank. We've got an old looking one and a new looking one. One thing I was a bit disappointed by though was the old looking one isn't cheaper. These are 60,000 each to buy, but for a 750,000 litre capacity tank, I don't think you can go wrong on that. Very cool indeed. Plus you've got the little marker post on there, so when you're seeding, planting, if you've got one of these on the edge of a field or somewhere you're not going to drive into it, damage anything, crack the top or anything like that. These you'll find under placeables, under silos. There you go, new slurry shaft, old slurry shaft. As far as I'm aware, which is normally the case with these things, it will do 750,000 litres of each. So you could put, yeah, that's normally the case. But even if it's only one, you can place one for one and one the other. It really doesn't matter, does it? 60 grand, 750,000 litre capacity, 2 slots each to place, which I think is amazing. Really cool. Moving on, this is rather nice. This is the steel construction hall. I want to make sure I get the right one because there's 3 placeable buildings today. The steel construction hall, this is by Kyosho. Really nicely detailed. It's a silly thing for me personally. I like the colour of the support beams. I just think it kind of makes it stand out, makes it look really kind of modern and fresh. And you know, it is a modern building. It's supposed to be. Really nice detailing on this. Now this will only use 7 slots. When you think of some of the buildings we've had in the past that have been really high slot counts, there's a lot of nice detail on this. I'm still very low on the slot count. If you're on PC, don't worry about slots, it's irrelevant. If you're on console, it's just the amount of RAM space that it takes to render the first one in. Lights on the outside, got a light switch here. Now they don't actually light up, but it does put the light on the ground, which is nice. The doors, it's an interesting feature, and I kind of like it, but I think it might get a bit annoying after a little while. You can't open from the outside. If I turn the lights off, go to the door here, which you can open and close like so. I do like a little movement of the handle too. You come inside here, we've got a light switch on the inside. I was struggling to get the trigger for this earlier. It was a bit of a, you know, you get a finicky trigger every now and again. Oh, I have to open the menu. It just sometimes, there we go. You have to get it just at the right angle. Nice and bright inside with the lights on. These 2 bays are complete drive-through, which I like, but from the inside we can open them up. Now these have really, really big openings on these. I think it's 4.5 metre it says in the Modhub. 4.6 metre with the floor area of 770 metres squared, and it's cavernous. It's really, really big in here. So if you're machinery and stuff, fantastic. So these 2 drive-throughs, so maybe for articulated lorries, stuff with front swivel axles, those kind of things. Storing bales and stuff in here, absolutely fantastic. But these 3 here will open up, and with the other 2 there, completely opens up this side for storage as well. But like I say, if you come from the outside, can't open them. Lights on this side as well. Probably put this around the wrong way, to be honest with you. It probably should have been facing the other way, but doesn't matter. That's a nice mod, that. This you'll find under placeables, under sheds. Steel construction hall. Only downside to it, it's 138 grand, so it's not cheap. So much as the slot count is low on it, it's expensive. There are much cheaper large halls, but they often come with a high slot count, so it becomes a bit of a trade-off. If money's no object, if you really don't mind, or you're going to put money in, or whatever you're going to do, it's a nice mod, that. I like that a lot. That's by Kyosho. Moving on, let's go to this one next. This is the Farmhouse. This is by DieselHirsch. Another really nicely detailed mod, nicely detailed building. What is also very nice with this is, for all the detail on it, it only comes with a 15 slot count. We've had buildings like this, 30, 40, 50 slots, so that's amazing. The amount of detail on this for such a low slot count. Only downside, you can't actually go inside it. This is a sleep trigger farmhouse, which obviously you'll find under farmhouses. So if I press L3 now, obviously I'm not tired, but if I go up to it and press circle, the door doesn't open. But like I say, you'll find this under placeables in farmhouses. It's 100,000 to buy, so not the cheapest of Sleep Through the Night triggers, but it might be, like I've said before, it's about having options, and this might fit a map you're playing on absolutely perfectly. Maybe something you've been kind of hoping for, or you might be on a map you suddenly think, you know what, that's exactly what I want. But yeah, that's really nice. Like I say, nice slot count. So that's the Farmhouse by DieselHirsch. Moving on, we'll get to those in a second. We've got this over here. This is the Shed Spanish. This is by Rowley Christie 1. Oh, one a bit too close. Rowley Christie 1. Another one with a nice bit of detail on it. 16 slots, so again, not too high on the slot count. Fair size building, but the entrance is quite small. So you have got plenty of space inside, but you're not going to get huge machinery in here. But then you might not necessarily want to put huge machinery in here, but you should be able to store all sorts of things, you know, whatever you want to store, in all honesty. The lights on this are really bright. I mean, look at that. Quite stark contrast to the previous one, where the lights are on, but they're not actually kind of shining exactly. These, wow. And yeah, this is a really bright, open, be nice for a kind of vehicle workshop, wouldn't it? I like that. I do like the stuff at the back as well. Nice little bit of detail. It doesn't have to take up too much room of the actual main bit, but steps up to here with a little work bay. It's not functional in any particular way. I don't think that light works over there. No. But yeah, very nice indeed. This you will also find under placeables in sheds. Now, in contrast to the other one, which was 138 grand, this is 7,500. So, again, I say, sources for courses. Again, this may be something you look at and think, I really like that. I'm going to use that on my next Let's Play, or the one I'm currently on, whatever it might be. You don't get any options, generally speaking, with placeables. You just point, click, and place them. One thing I did mean to mention about the previous, well, not the previous one, but this one, this concrete base, I did not place. This concrete base came with this mod. So you are going to need a big open area to place this, because this came right out to here. So it's got a huge base area to it, which was what I meant to mention on that one. Right, what shall we do next? Let's do one of the vehicles next, then I'll move on to that one last. Next we have got the Brent Avalanche 1596. This is by JHHG Modding. Now, we already have a Brent Avalanche 1596. You may already be thinking, hang on a minute, didn't Giants release one of these? Yes, they did. But this is an updated version by JHHG Modding. And it does say on the Modhub website that the add-ons and new features to this version, there are 7 wheel configurations, Michelin and Mitres, track configuration, 2 main body configurations. You can have it in the green or the red. But it also says realistic overloading speed and realistic mass. So a few things have been changed on this to make it just a little bit more realistic. Now, if you're not too bothered about that, then obviously you just go with the Giants one if you want to go with that. I do like the fact the tracks look I personally think a little bit more three-dimensional, a little bit more like the track units we got on the new class pack when that came out. That was the big thing about that was these nice three-dimensional looking tracks. It's a nice tidy mod. For all intents and purposes, when you first look at it, it looks the same as the original one, but like I say, with the extra little bits and bobs on here, it's a nice mod. This you'll find under tools and auger wagons. It's a fair size. Where are we? There we go, 118,000. This has got a capacity of 52,860 litres, requires 300 horsepower to pull it. It's a big old beast. But you can have it with a tyre configuration like so. Main colour, you can have it in the Brent green or the Brent red, which is rather nice and bright. So we can have Trelleborg, and you can have it with the 865R32s, the 960R32s. We can have Michelin's 865R32s, or the 900s, and then we can have Mitres, and that just comes standard with the 900. So it's just the tyre tread configurations. And then if we go across to Brent, you can have it with the crawler track, which does add an extra 12,750 on. But I personally, I like the tracked look. It's very modern looking to me. But I mean the tyres, it looks fantastic. It's a nice looking mod. Let's back up to it. So, cover open on PlayStation controller, L1 and left on the D-pad opens and closes the cover, like so. And then L1 and down on the D-pad will lift up your pipe, like so. Swing it around so the pipe's round in the light a little bit more. And then I think it's L1 and right stick will adjust your left and right on the right stick. So L1 left and right will bring your pipe up and down depending on the height of your trailer or whether you're tipping into a silo or something like that. And then up and down on the stick will adjust the actual top nozzle section, like so. Let's swing around a little bit so you can see that. Like so. Lights, there is a light on the actual auger pipe as well, which is nice. I like that. Very nice indeed. That's the Brent Avalanche 1596 by JHHG Modding. Moving on as rapidly as I can. This is a funky looking machine. I do like this. This is the Massey Ferguson 8140 by Nico Do 55. This is only 14 slots, which is pretty cool. It's an interesting looking one with a slightly elongated front end. I think it's because, I don't know what it is, it's kind of that step between the really old boxy square looking ones. It's still got that element of a boxy nature to it, but the engine cowling is a little bit more rounded over the top. It's kind of that move towards the more rounded off vehicles. Some really nice features on this one as well, like these for instance on the inside. I can't remember what they're called now, but I think they're designed to allow mud and crud and stuff to flick out and move through the things, rather than that being a solid unit there that joins the whole lot up, and you can get a lot of stuff gets caught up in there and jammed. I think, I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what they were for. Nice looking mod. Nice looking mod. This one you will find under, I think it was medium tractors if I remember correctly. There we go. The 8140, 65,253 for the base unit. Now you can't change the horsepower. It's 160 horsepower and that's kind of standard, that's what you get. We can have it with Trelleborg, Michelin, miters or knock-ins. On the Trelleborgs we can have standard, we can have rear twins, wides, narrows, which I quite like. I mean, it looks a bit, because it's a very narrow long tractor, it looks kind of odd, especially because the wheel arches stay very wide. I suppose that's probably why. Narrow twins, which I like, and that's got the solid connectors between, as you can see. Then we move on to standard, but with the blue attacher rims. I don't know if they're weights, it doesn't actually say weights, but then you've got the rear twin with the blue attachers in there, and then you can have twin wheels, wides, then the narrow twins, which is what I went for. I like that as an option, I think that's really cool. And then Michelin, standard, wides, and we kind of go through a similar setup, but you don't get the narrows with the Michelins. Miters, wide, and that's it. So I suppose you get more options with the Trelleborg than you do with any of the others. And then knock-ins are just the standard communal. Then you can have it without fender or with fender, like so. So let's jump in it. What I do like is the start-up sequence. You get that very, very slight kind of that first turnover. So rather than that initial boom, off it goes. You get that little, just a nice feature, nice little touch, like it. Horn, front lights, rear lights, main work lights, beacons on the top. Sounds nice. I don't know. I do like old tractors. I do like old tractors. So I mean, I like all machinery, so I like a lot of the new ones too. But there's something about this. It's got a really nice look to it. Nice clean finish. Nice clean lines. I don't know. It's very cool. Nice tight turning circle as well on it, which I like. It does have a few options for doors and windows. Try and remember what they all are now. Is it R1? Right. R1 and right stick up and down does the rear window. R1 and left right stick side to side does the sunroof. You can just see the sunroof opening and closing there. Then L1 and right stick to the side does the door that side, and up and down does the door this side. So you can have both doors open, the rear window and the sunroof, should you wish to do so. What's also very cool is in cab. You see it says A there. It goes up through, so as it goes into each gear, you've got the acceleration shifts as it goes up in each of those as well. So you look at A, it goes A, B, C, D. And you see each time the gear stick moves into the next gear, then it goes through each power band within those, then comes back down again when you accelerate, when you decelerate. I like it. I think it's brilliant. Really, really nice detail in that. Lights. Yeah, really cool. That's a nice mod, that. Comes standard with front 3-point link on the front and rear. Although some of them you have as an option with weights and stuff, that comes standard as is. Like I say, set at 160 horsepower, but very cool indeed. That's a nice tractor, that, by Nico Do 55. Moving on, this is also very cool. I like this a lot. We've got this. This is the Lintner Unitrack pack. This is the Unitrack 82 EP. This is by Vector Man. This is seriously cool. It's looking a bit dirty actually, because I've been ferrying all the equipment out here for the thumbnail and also to show you. Small little tractor unit with a massive array of equipment that comes with it in this pack. Now this is all very small equipment. There's nothing massive in here. So for small farming operations it's really cool. For sort of small bits, yard work, that kind of thing, there's some nice little bits within this pack with some incredibly good detail. And this is what I was talking about the pack. On any other given day this would be a mod review in its own right because of how much stuff comes with it. With some of these backs that come on this, they come with trailer hitches as well. So whilst the actual main tractor unit doesn't, some of the backs do, which means it makes it incredibly useful. Plus, we've got a trailer hitch on the front here. So if you remember, you might know about it, you might not know about it. Where did I put it? The front lifter mod, this one here, my mind's gone blank who this was by. Anything with a trailer hitch, this will attach to. So potentially this will attach on the front of this, so you can have a 3-point link on the front. Any of these with the trailer hitch on the back, you could have one on the back as well, which makes it incredibly versatile. Very cool little thing. We do have quite a few backs for this as well. Now they're not all under Lintrack, they're kind of spread about all over the place. Now we do have a tipper back, which is this one here. Capacities are quite small, but we'll have a look at those in a minute. We've got a forage back, which I think is brilliant. Loading wagon. We've got a wood back, which will only do small logs, odds and ends, but it does have a trailer hitch, so if you want to put a slightly larger wood log trailer on the back of that, fantastic. We have got a manure back to it for muck spreading. We've got 2 slurry backs. One is a standard spreader, the other one's got like a fireman's hose one. I'm going to show you that in a second. And then we've got over here the tank back. Now this one you can either have configured as milk and water or fuel as a fuel carrier. This one I've got in the fuel carrier option. Like I say, there's loads in this. So let's have a quick look in store first, and then we'll have a look at it in operation. I think this was under miscellaneous, not under cars. There we go. So the main unit itself is 95 horsepower, 97,800 to buy. You can change the main colour to any one of those, like so. Rim colour, anything on that colour palette there, for example. Then we've got an option of Trelleborg, Lizard, Trelleborgs. We've got standard and the twins on the back. Lizards, we've got communal, or we've got crawler tracks. Look at that. It looks awful with the pink. Let me just put something else on that. Let's go with black, for example. Look at that. It looks like a little mini man truck, doesn't it? But that is such a funky looking thing. I went with the twin one on the one I've got out because I just thought it looked cool, but that is wicked, isn't it? Anyway, beacon lights, we can have it with none on the top, left, right or both, and those are your options. I'm going to lease that in a second. Right, I'll show those in a second, but as far as the backs go, we have got, right, where are they all? We have got, under miscellaneous, the Lizard tank module, 2,500 litre capacity. Like I say, it's not huge, but it might be, like, especially for fuel, it's a nice little addition. We can change the main colour. We've got galvanised, stainless or chromed. Design colour is kind of the chassis underneath. A lot of the options on all of these are pretty much the same. We can have it with milk and water or fuel. So if you're running milk or water, you can't do then fuel as well. You have to have a separate unit. So the milk and water one looks like that. The fuel one puts that section on the back with a little pump bit for dispensing of said fuel. Under forestry, we've got the wood module, 3,500 to buy. These are all only like 2 slots each for the back, so not expensive at all. Again, options, we can change the main colour to anyone on that palette, which changes kind of the main bulk of that for the wood module. We have got the where are we? Manure spreaders. So the manure spreader module, 5,700 to buy, 3,200 litre capacity, so again not big. Change the main colour, changes that rear section colour like that. Then we've got under slurry tanks, we've got these 2 slurry tank modules. So you've got the slurry tank module 6,800, which is 3,000 litres, and that's a standard configuration, low spreader. You turn it on and it spreads. The spread width is, I'm not quite sure actually what the spread width is on that. It's only a couple of metres, I think, 2 or 3 metres, not very wide. Then you've got this one here, which has got an upper spreader with mouse control, and you can actually adjust the nozzle as you go if you wanted to. It's just an interesting design. Again, we can change the main colour on both of those. We've got the loading wagon back, so the forage version, which is that one there on the end, 10,500, 11,200 litre capacity on that. Again, we can change the main colour. That for some reason is my favourite one. I don't know why, I just think it looks brilliant. But unlike most loading wagons which collect from the front, this one collects from the rear and flicks it all up and puts it in at the back. And then the last one is the loading back, and I think that's just under normal trailers. There you go, the tipper module. It's only 2,400 litres, so that's the sort of thing you might use around your yard if you were going to be doing like animal feed and stuff like that, but only on a small scale. You're not going to get away with massive stuff, but it will take all those crop types. It will do seed and fertiliser and, you know, all sorts of stuff, pig food and manure and whatever you want to transport around, lime too, which is very, very cool. So that's the tracked version. This will go at 26 miles an hour. Lights, beacons, all-wheel steer on both versions, the wheeled version or the tracked. Very nimble. Does have the PTO shaft on there, so any of the PTO driven stuff that goes on it, it does have the PTO on there should you want it. In cab it's fairly sparse, there's not a lot going on. And the doors don't open or anything like that. Horn. Oh. That's weird. Has that not got a horn? Interesting. Anyway, so tipper back. I'll try and get through these quickly. I do apologise, like I say, there's quite a lot. What is nice about these, the backs on these, if you go for the wheeled option with the twins on the back, these back sections, the legs, support legs, are wide enough you can get the double wheel underneath there without any problem. But what's also nice about this can tip left, right or rear, so if you do have something on the back trailer hitch on this, and the trailer hitch does work. Oh, I've got that hooked up to it. I did hook this up to the Brent Avalanche, It did pull it, it struggled a little bit, not this one but the wheel one. So if we do unload, that's your unload function, and you can do left, right or rear on that, which I really like. I think it's cool. The wood back I'm not going to show you because at the end of the day it's a wood back. Let's disconnect that. But that does have a trailer hitch on the back of it as well. Let me move this one out of the way. Let's say the wheel one, also all-wheel steer. What I'm going to check though is, can we change that? No, it's all-wheel steer all the time, so you can't change the steering configuration on that. It is always an all-wheel steer, but that actually, like the small Lintrack 90, is it 90? Whichever one we've got. It makes it really, really versatile and very nimble around the corners. But this one, the muck spreader. Now what is cool about the muck spreader is when you turn on the muck spreader, you can actually move that control arm too. So, it just moves out to the field. I should have put these close to the field actually. If I turn on the manure spreader, like so, you can do it like that, or on the fly, I can raise that up, so if you want to fling the muck over someone's fence while you're going along, so you could kind of adjust it as you go. So I'd say there's some really nice features. It's a fairly kind of, when you first look, you think it's a fairly innocuous little pack. There's lots of small stuff. It's not really going to be much used, blah blah blah. But do you know what? There's some really good gear in this. Disconnect that. Next up, I'll show you this one very quickly. That's I'll try and get through all of them if I can. So the loading wagon back again. I don't know why. I just this one is my favourite looking one. But if we turn it on, in the back, drop that down. This collects from the back and will fill up your loading wagon like so inside. And then you turn it off. Lift pick up, and when you want to unload here. There you go. Very, very neat little bit of kit. Very cool. So that's the loading wagon back. The fuel back, that's a fuel back. That will need refuelling at a fuel station or something along those lines. But that is there and it will hook up exactly the same. The first of our... I'm not sure I get the right one first. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. No, it's not. It's because I've come it the wrong way round. I know I put one round one way and then moved the others the other way round so I could hook up to them better, and then messed it right up. So the slurry back on that. Such an unusual looking thing, but incredibly quirky. So this one, when we turn it on and we go, so turn on the slurry tank, it will do your slurry spreading like so. It's about, is it 3 meters, 4 maybe? So fairly small. Again, it's only going to be for small farms, little fields, that kind of thing. It's not going to be a massive amount. The detail on these are brilliant though. Loads and loads of detail. Just disconnect that one. Just there. So again, I do love a mod that comes out when I'm looking at it or using it or showing it off in a mod review, my mind is already thinking, how can I use this? What can I use it on? What application can I use for it? I like that a lot because it's something a little bit different. Now this is a little bit like the manure spreader. This is so weird. If I turn this on and put cruise control on like that, it will do that. What I can do is adjust that myself up and down and side to side as I don't know why I want to do it as I go, but I suppose you could kind of try and spread as you go. Now if you hire a worker to do that, it doesn't automatically spread, so it doesn't swing to side to side. If I hire a worker now, the worker will just do it wherever you've set it to. So like so, it will just go along like that. Now that's probably only got a 2 meter spread width on that one. It's a little bit, seems to be a little bit narrower. but I just like that functionality of being able to swing the nozzle side to side. It's a small thing and maybe a silly thing, and you may be looking thinking, well, it's pointless, I'm never going to use it. Again, everyone's entitled to, you know, think whatever you want to think, use it for whatever you want to use it for. It's entirely up to you. I just think it's a really cool little pack. That's the Lintner Unitrack pack by Vector Man. Very cool. I've left everything scattered all over the place, haven't I? Let's turn that off. Which brings me on to, I hope... Let me just get in there. I'll leave all the doors and windows open. The last of the mods for today, I think. Map tools will come either later on this evening or maybe tomorrow. I'm just running out of time. Hours in the day, that kind of thing. So the last of the mods for today is this. This is the Pottinger Top 12.52 CS line. This, as you can probably tell, is a windrower. This is by PowerausdemOsten and Bjon14. I think it's Bjon, not Bjon. Unless it's Swedish, could be Bjon. 14. This you'll find under windrowers. There you go, the 12.52 CS line, 61 grand, 12.5 metre width on this. It will set you back, how many slots was this one? 5 slots, not too heavy on the slot count, no options available. You get what you get. Folding it, nice neat animation. Very smooth, very tidy. It's a nicely detailed mod. Just some thought, I hope this tractor's got enough horsepower to pull this, it should have. Turn it on, drop it down, and it windrows. Exactly like it's supposed to. Like so. There we go. That's the Pottinger Top 1252 CS line from PowerausdemOsten and Bjon 14. And I think that's it for the mods for today. I tried to get through as quick as I could. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope you found it useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.